Today, we're diving into the life of a truly pivotal figure in history, Abu Bakr al-Siddiq. His story is just incredible. It's all about unwavering loyalty, leadership when it mattered most, and a faith that literally helped shape the world as we know it. So, to really get this, we're not going to start at the beginning. Instead, I want you to picture this: the massive, empty desert of Hijaz. Two men, on the run, hunted. Every single tracker, every bounty hunter is on their trail. This isn't just some escape. This is a moment where history itself is hanging in the balance. And the stakes, they could not have been higher. We're talking a bounty of 100 camels on their heads. Now, that might not sound like much to us, but back then, that was an absolute fortune. It was enough to make sure every person with a grudge or a bit of skill was out there, searching for them. And this brings us right to the heart of their journey, this migration, this Hijrah. It was so much more than just running away. It was the ultimate test of friendship, of companionship, forged right in the face of death. You see, one of the men, Abu Bakr, basically turned himself into a human shield for his companion, the Prophet Muhammad. He was in constant motion, sometimes running ahead to scout, sometimes dropping back to watch their rear. Before they took refuge in a cave, he insisted on going in first, checking for snakes, scorpions, anything. He was literally putting his body between his friend and any possible danger. The Prophet noticed all this, his friend's constant anxious movement, and he asked him why. Abu Bakr's answer tells you everything you need to know about his devotion. He basically said, if someone has to die today, let it be me. Just an absolute, total commitment. And this next moment, it just perfectly captures their relationship. Their pursuers are right at the mouth of the cave, so close you could practically hear them breathe. And Abu Bakr is terrified, not for himself, but for the Prophet. And right then, in that moment of pure crisis, the Prophet turns to him and says these words of incredible calm, a perfect moment of faith, right in the middle of the storm. So you have to ask yourself, where does that kind of loyalty even come from? Well, to get that, we need to rewind a bit and look at who Abu Bakr was and how he got his famous title, the Truthful. Here's the thing. Even before Islam, Abu Bakr was known as a man of exceptional character. He was a successful merchant, sure, but he was respected for his honesty. He never worshipped idols, stayed away from the common vices. He was just this solid, trustworthy person. And that's so important, because when he embraced Islam, all those amazing qualities got channeled into this new, world-changing mission. He became the first adult man to convert and immediately started working for the cause. And this unwavering belief is exactly how he earned the name al-Siddiq. See, when the Prophet told people about his miraculous night journey, going from Mecca to Jerusalem and back in a single night, a lot of people just scoffed. They thought it was impossible, so they ran to Abu Bakr expecting him to say the same thing. But his response was instant, no hesitation. He just said, if he said it, then he has spoken the truth. And with that, he became al-Siddiq, the truthful, forever. Now, his belief wasn't some quiet, personal thing. Oh no. Abu Bakr became an absolute pillar of that early Muslim community. He used his influence, his money, his character, everything he had to build it from the ground up. He didn't just believe, he inspired others to believe. Because people trusted him so much, he was able to go to some of the most important and influential people in society and bring them into Islam. I mean, think about it. He was basically building the future leadership team of a nation. The man was just relentless in his pursuit of doing good. There's this famous story where the Prophet is in a gathering and asks, who here fasted today? Who attended a funeral? Who fed someone in need? Who visited someone who was sick? And for every single question, only one hand went up. Again and again, Abu Bakr's. It was a perfect snapshot of his character. And his generosity, it was legendary. But it was also really smart. He spent his fortune supporting the community. And famously, he would buy slaves who were being persecuted for their faith and then set them free. He was saving lives, yes, but he was also investing in the community's future by freeing amazing people like Bilal ibn Rabah, who would go on to become the first muezzin. Even the Prophet himself said that no one's wealth had ever been as important as Abu Bakr's. But all of this devotion, this character, it was about to face its greatest challenge. Because after the Prophet passed away, the new Muslim nation was thrown into a crisis so deep, it threatened to tear the whole thing apart. I mean, that's the reality Abu Bakr stepped into as the first caliph, the first successor, Imagine this. The leader who held everything together is gone, and almost overnight, tribes all across Arabia start backing out. Some declare their own prophets, others say, yeah, we'll pray, but we're not paying that zakat charity cox. The entire state was right on the brink of complete collapse. Now, a lot of the other leaders were advising caution, saying they should go easy. But Abu Bakr, this man known for being gentle and soft-hearted, showed absolute iron resolve. His response was a thunderclap. He basically said that the principles of the faith were not up for negotiation, not on his watch. And he didn't just talk, he acted immediately and decisively. He organized the entire Muslim force into 11 separate armies, gave each a commander, and sent them out across the whole Arabian Peninsula. It was an incredibly bold, all-or-nothing strategy to put down the rebellions and pull the fractured nation back together. And that decisive leadership, that incredible gamble, it paid off. His success in what became known as the Ridda Wars didn't just save the state, it cemented its foundations for good and set the stage for his most lasting legacies. You know, his time as Caliph was incredibly short, just a little over 2 years. But look at what he packed into that time. He reunited a nation that was falling apart, kicked off one of the most important projects in human history, and left behind a stable, unified state. It's just staggering. And this might be his single most enduring legacy. During those wars, many of the people who had memorized the entire Quran were killed in battle. Abu Bakr saw the danger that parts of the divine revelation could be lost forever, so he commissioned the huge task of gathering all the verses from palm leaves, from stone tablets, from the memories of people, and compiling them into one single official book, an act that preserved the scripture for billions of people. When he passed away, the respect people had for him was universal. And you don't have to take my word for it. This powerful eulogy from Ali ibn Abi Talib, another one of the Prophet's closest companions, just says it all. He was seen as a pioneer, sincere in his faith, and just unmatched in his service to the cause. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? The legacy of Abu Bakr is this incredible study in contrasts. A man so gentle he'd weep while reciting the Quran, but so firm he would literally go to war to defend a core principle of his faith. His life really makes you think about what true leadership is and how real strength is so often found in that amazing mix of compassion and conviction.